Have you realized that a narcissist can't actually do this? Like, why is it that they can't actually explain to you, or when they try to, they give you the most strangest explanation? Why is it that they can't just be honest with you and say what is going on? Why is it that the narcissist has to make things so difficult, so intense, and just challenging? Guys, if you are facing this and you want to understand why the narcissist cannot take responsibility for their toxic behavior, and believe me, they have been weird and they have been strange, and like you've caught them out, or they know that you know. And this video is for you, my friends. Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing really well. So guys, I have been called to do this video. Like so many of you, including some of you guys who are my clients, have said, why is there just person just cannot, literally just cannot take responsibility for what they have done? Like, why is it that they can't just kind of say the truth? Like, you don't understand why they've got to be so difficult, you know? But there's a few reasons. Actually, there's like, hold on a minute. There's about 4 main reasons why the narcissist can't do this. And this is what I'm going to discuss in this video. But ultimately, this is about responsibility. If like someone's going to admit to you that they've done something wrong, they've got to take responsibility in changing that behavior if they want to keep you. You know, so they don't feel like they've got, or they don't feel consequences. I talked about this. Do you know what? I talked about this in this video. I'm going to put the link here. So I've talked about why the narcissist, basically, they just have no consequences. It's about that they don't want to feel consequences. And ultimately, if they want to take responsibility, that means they're going to have to kind of like suffer consequences to what they do. But the narcissist doesn't want to do that. So they're going to not take responsibility. And these are the following reasons why they will not do that. But my friends, just really quickly, before I get into the video, I just want to say that I've got season 3 of the live streams that is coming out. We are going to be going live weekly. Do check the community tab, because I'm going to be kind of like putting out the posts or information of when we're actually going live. It's going to be a vibe, my friends. It's actually even a better setup than what I had before. I know I've kind of taken a break from the live streams, but guys, if you are around, it's going to be on the same day, every Tuesday, 9 p.m. UK time. Guys, it's a vibe. Just check out the playlist on the live streams because it is a vibe. Guys, I'd love to see you there. Okay, so let's look at why they can't take responsibility. So the first thing that I would really say that is like the main reason is their fragile self-esteem. Despite having this outward confident stance, they actually have a fragile sense of self. Admitting to their toxic behavior, to their betrayal, to their lies, to their cheating, would mean confronting their own imperfections and vulnerabilities. Now, a narcissist is not going to do that. Now, if you're expecting some type of sorry, some type of understanding as to why this happens, then I'm really sorry, my friends. You are going to be sadly mistaken, because they're all about hiding. They're all about not admitting, because again, it's about consequences. Now, if you are going to admit to something, that means that you are actually taking responsibility for your behavior. Now, if you have a fragile self-esteem, it means that it cannot cope with you being confronted by your own vulnerabilities, by your own imperfections. I talked about this in a video not so long ago, where narcissists don't want to introspect. Now, it would really help if they did, because if they went into therapy, it would help them to kind of gain self-awareness, to gain introspection, to be able to put self-soothing tactics in place for themselves. So when they do become overwhelmed, when they have these negative self-projections, they are able to kind of speculate. They're able to look at it and think, okay, so how can I improve this? Like, there isn't a blame, there's no judgment. But you see, the thing is, because of their own, and I'm going to talk about this in the next section, because of their own defense mechanisms, because of their own kind of dysfunctional ego, they're unable to do this. So they're unable to dive deeper into themselves and be able to look at this and think, okay, like maybe I can help myself. But what they do is they tend to hide. These are the defense mechanisms. Okay, because they have to put this in place because this is something that is ingrained from childhood and it has worked for them up until now because they are very unaware of their own behavior. Although what they are aware of is how their behavior affects another person, because of course they can see if they're making you upset. They can see that you are visibly like crying or you're upset or you're angry. They know that. But a lot of them do it for laughs. A lot of them just literally do it because they can. Some of them are literally low level and really don't understand that they are affecting you in that way because they just don't click it. So it's on a scale. Do you know what I mean? Like it's on a scale. But ultimately, confronting their own imperfections is something that the narcissist is not going to do. And it is what they'd rather do is they'd rather project it onto you and say that you are the one that is the issue. I mean, okay. So talking about the defense mechanism. Okay, so narcissists will use psychological defense mechanisms to protect their self-esteem. Ultimately, every time that something is said that they don't like or they don't agree with, they see this as an attack on them. And again, you're thinking, well, how? Because this is open to discussion. You can actually talk about it. You can explore this. But a narcissist is unable to... they're not able to be open. They're not able to talk about their own imperfections and vulnerabilities. They hide from this because this is the ego. Okay, so this is all about protecting their self-esteem. So that's going to include like projection. They're going to externalize the blame onto someone else. That's going to be about denial. Again, externalizing the blame, not taking responsibility. And rationalization. They're going to offer you a response that will literally crawl under your skin and burn from the inside out. Yes. So it's never going to make sense because they're always denying their behavior. And these are psychological defense mechanisms from the dysfunctional ego. And there's a playlist actually that I've got. It's kind of understanding dark psychology on this channel. I'll link it here. But this is about you really understanding why people use psychological defense mechanisms against another. Ultimately, what they're doing is they are projecting, they're protecting themselves, they're protecting their own self-esteem, they're protecting themselves. Because the reality is, if we really look at it, a narcissist doesn't know who they are. You know why? Because their personality, their behaviors are made up of fragments of people who they have had around them. Remember, they love to mirror. They love to pretend to be somebody else. This is the ideal self that the narcissist wants everyone to see. So this is all about the defense mechanisms. Do you know what, my friends? I should really do a video about literally there's so much I can talk about on this subject, but talking about these defense mechanisms, I really do think I should do it. Put it in the comments section if you think like I should do a whole video on narcissistic defense mechanisms and understanding the psychology behind it. Let me know if this is something that you would be interested in. Another one, literally goes hand in hand, is the lack of empathy. Again, consequences, don't care how it affects you. I just want to be seen as this person. You know, when you have a lack of empathy, it doesn't mean that you don't have it at all. It's just more like the fact that you don't want to experience it. And I feel like a lot of this is about struggling to actually understand the impact of their behavior on another. Like, they're not silly, they're not dumb. Like, they can see how the way that they are acting is affecting another person. If you're crying, if you're upset, like that is a real indicator that your behavior is making someone feel something in a negative way. But I think a lot of the time, because of this defense mechanism, because of this dysfunctional ego, I don't feel like they actually care enough to want to reprimand or change their behavior. And I think a lot of this is if without empathy, they don't see why they should take responsibility for their actions. And that's what it is. It's the responsibility. Why would they take the responsibility, of saying sorry when they've made you cry? That when they say the way that the narcissist thinks that if they say sorry, that means that they are weak, that they are being vulnerable, that they are showing an openness. And they don't want to do that. Because when someone is not confident about themselves, they can't be open. If someone is hiding something, that person can't be open. They can't show someone how they truly feel. So then they don't really bring their authentic selves to the table here. And that's why they're primarily focused on their own needs and their own desires, because they are always hiding themselves. They're always trying to show that that they're tough. These defense mechanisms, they don't want to show you that they've got a fragile sense of self. Because if they do, they feel like people around them are going to judge them and leave, which in most cases, I'll be honest with you, I would say 9 times out of 10, people will see through it and will not want to be around this person. Also, when you are not accepting responsibility, there is the issue of grandiosity, all right? So narcissists have this inflated sense of self-importance and superiority. In a way, this goes hand in hand with that dysfunctional ego. They've got to show that they are the ones on top. They've got to show that they are winging it in life. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they admit to their toxic behavior, this will contradict their self-image. So they're not going, like, that's why they don't want to do it. That's why they don't want to believe the criticism. They want to rise above it. They want to see that their actions are being justified, no matter how harmful they are. They can do whatever it is that they want to do, because without there being any reprimand for what they are doing. This grandiosity kind of gives them this pass, like, oh, well, I thought you didn't mind. Like, why is that an issue? So I think a lot of this is about this ignorance that really comes with this grandiosity. There is this ignorance. There is this kind of dismissal of seeing it for what it is, goes hand in hand again with the lack of empathy, because they want to feel like they're the ones on top. You see, where this stems from is being belittled, probably in childhood, not being able to be themselves. So if they show everybody that they are someone, if they show everybody that they are this amazing person, they think that everybody else will think that they are this amazing person. But it doesn't work like that, because if you're fake, people know when you're being fake. And I guess a lot of that, that's what grandiosity is. It's a projection. It's about being fake. You can't bring your authentic self to the table. So they feel that actions are justified in what they do. So going on to the next point, this is the role of manipulation. Grandiosity, the role of manipulation. So as we know, narcissists are skilled manipulators. They love to blame. They love to shift the blame onto another, and they love to gaslight to avoid any type of responsibility and anything that is going to make others doubt their perceptions. What you have to remember is ultimately the narcissist lives in this fantasy world. Like, literally, they do not live in reality. So there's reality and there's fantasy. And in psychology, there's this term called magical thinking. All right. And that's what the narcissist does. They live in this fantasy world. All right. And where it's just magical thinking. It's just not rooted in reality. And again, the reason why they do this is because they're not being authentically themselves. They're kind of pretending or behaving to be somebody else. This is a defense mechanism, a psychological defense mechanism, where I've seen it working in these low secure mental health hospitals, working in prisons, as a bit to cope with their own reality, with their own environment. That's why they do it. It's a defense mechanism, and it isn't something that is going to be reprimanded or something that a narcissist can let go of. They will continually manipulate because they feel safe to manipulate, even if this keeps others off balance. This allows the narcissist to maintain control. So understanding these types of dynamics is crucial for anyone that is dealing with a narcissist or anyone that is in a relationship with a narcissist. If you're in a situation like this and you want to understand more, please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. This is also about setting firm boundaries, and seeking support is also essential. All right. remember, it's not your job to fix this person or to change them. All right. A narcissist is not about that. Okay. Your priority is to take care of yourself. So guys, I really hope that this video has helped, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.